Hi, I'm Dr. Richard Cherney. This is TheDailyBlu, and I am here with my co-host, Jaimie Love, and our special guest, Dr. Steve Maraboli, here on Journey into Awareness on TheDailyBlu.
How's it going?
Okay, Steve, how are you?
Hi,
I'm
Steven.
doing well. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Nice to be here.
Yeah, it's fun, and hello to everybody out there watching. Hope you're all having a great day, and buckle up. Something great's about to happen.
Tell us about that.
Listen, I think that every opportunity you get to share, to help somebody refine, improve, and enhance their life, you should take it. Take it without apology, knock it out of the park, and that's what I'm here to do. So thanks for giving me that platform today.
That's exactly what your book is about, Unapologetically You. We want to hear a little bit of a backstory about you, though, Stephen. We want to know, what was it that inspired you to get to the point where you are today? What was your aha moment, and how did you get there?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of aha moments. I think that we all know what inspires us. It's whether you are either inspired enough to take the chance to do it, or if you're broken enough to take the chance. Great things happen. Great messages happen in a mess. And for me, it was kind of something. It was kind of both in that sense. Growing up, I grew up. I had great parents. I had a good life. We struggled enough to build character, and my parents were loving. They were caring. In that realm, it was great. I had a dad who wasn't afraid of how great my mom was, and so it was really a great family setting. The problem I had was confinement, and not so much a physical confinement, as much as rules within, say, schooling and that kind of stuff. I was going home from school, and I was reading some incredible things. I was reading Plutarch's Lives. I was reading Think and Grow Rich. I was reading some incredible books, but I was going to school and failing everything. I didn't like what they were telling me. I was bored.
Yes.
Who knows?
They stifled your expression.
Yes.
There's like a lack of expression. That's what I felt like in school.
I feel like I was just bored. I don't know that I was endeavoring for more. I don't know if I was even that deep about it. It was really just that I didn't like the rules. I didn't want to read of Mice and Men. I wanted to read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I didn't want to do that, and I just found more interest in the philosophy than in the rules. So I did that. I read at home, and I failed at school. And there wasn't a summer I didn't go to summer school. There wasn't a quarter or report card that wasn't filled with Fs. And yet I was reading these incredible works, and I always thought your enlightenment, your spirituality, I always thought it would hit like that moment, that whole moment that you read about. And it never really hit like that. What hit for me instead was I signed up for the military. I'm a decorated military veteran. I was military police, and I signed up on 18 years old. I signed up and signed up for the Air Force, and I was such a genius. Air Force basic training takes place in San Antonio, Texas. I signed up for July. Oh. So it's 125 degrees.
Oh no.
And you're dressed up like a tree. And basic training is every day is that monotonous, same crap, different day kind of thing. Every day is the same thing. And this one particular occasion, my aha moment, it was 125 degrees, and they were marching us on blacktop because they're really compassionate. And so we're marching along, and for whatever reason on this day, our drill instructor was furious with us, furious. And he was pacing back and forth, and he was saying, "What's wrong with y'all?" I said, "I know, get in formation." So we get in formation, and he has 60 of us in formation on the blacktop in San Antonio, Texas, Lackland Air Force Base. And we're in formation, and he's pacing back and forth, and he says, "What's wrong with y'all?" He says, "I know. Say pop." Pop. Say pop again. Pop, pop. He says, "Do you know what that is? That's the sound of your head coming out of your ass."
Oh.
And I'll tell you, that was my moment. That was my aha, my moment.
Really?
That was it. Say pop, that's the sound of your head coming out of your ass, because I realized at that moment, like all of my other reading kicked in, where I said, yes, same crap, different day is a story I'm telling myself.
That's right.
I don't have to get through these 6 weeks. Let me get through now. Let me get through today. Let me be the best version. Let me go to sleep exhausted tonight. And I followed that system. And for the first time, I finished basic training as an honor graduate. I picked up a rifle during that basic training for the first time. I grew up in Port Washington, far from anywhere, Port Washington, Long Island, far from anywhere I needed a rifle. And for the first time, I picked up a rifle during basic training. And I also received my first marksman ribbon. I went on through technical school, military police academy, all these things, honor graduate, honor graduate, honor graduate. At 18 years old, I went into college at the same time while serving. Honor graduate, 1 degree, 2 degrees. Suddenly I'm collecting degrees and merit. This is a kid who, at one point I think I failed lunch in high school.
Right,
I mean,
right.
and here I was excelling all because of that moment. Because this drill instructor on a hot day where you're scared, you're tired, you're sick of it, reminded me that sometimes the issue is you. And you need to say pop and recognize what's in front of you. And I did that day, and I do it every day since.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, have you said pop today? We'll be back here on the Daily Blue
Pop.
and Journey into Awareness with Jaimie and Richard and Dr. Steve.
Hey Larry, every week I watch your show,
As you should.
and I know so much about sports now. Thank you.
You should be learning about sports, and everybody should be watching all our other shows here on the Daily Blue.
Why are you promoting the other shows? I thought you were the king of the Daily Blue.
That's true, but I'm all about everybody. It's not always all about me.
No, it
all
really
about
is.
the team.
Every day I wake up and it says, today is all about me, Corinne. Don't
I've
lie.
heard that.
Don't lie. Tune in every week to the Daily Blue and you'll see Sports Biz with LD, and you will get a lot of information, updates in sports, and a little bit about Sports Biz.
And that's me, Larry Davis, Sports Biz with LD.
And we're back with Dr. Steve and his story about pop.
It's a story of, it's a funny story. It wasn't so funny at the time, but now that I reflect back,
Isn't
it's
that
it
funny
was
how that
funny.
we can do
yeah,
that?
It's you revise it, you clean it up, and,
Right.
and you use it
But
for
as you're
wisdom.
going through it, it's
The
it's
wound
HE
becomes
double hockey
wisdom, right?
sticks.
That's the
Yes.
way that works.
That's what you're actually talking about right here in your book, Unapologetically You. Sometimes you have to lose to win.
Yeah, I mean that's just really it. What I've learned in this life, you go through endless education. I think I went to college from 18 to 35. Endless education, and you and I we study similar fields, and they can throw degrees and titles at you. But I really realized that along that journey, I was told, first of all, you spend a fortune. And I was told by some of the most brilliant professors, some of the most brilliant people on earth, in every which way, that we really don't know what we're talking about. And so I kind of endeavored in my own thing. And let me take this, what we do know about cognitive neuroscience, what we do know about science in general, what we do know about cognition and consciousness, what we do know. Let's take that and mix it in with also things that we know that aren't so scientific, like this general human experience. And that's what I write about. Really, for me, I'm not going to argue religion with you. I'm not going to argue spirituality. I'm not going to argue any of that. For me, that's silly. That's as silly as arguing with a parent that how much convincing will it do to convince them that their child isn't beautiful? That's ridiculous. You could say, hey, listen, your child's got 7 ears. Most people have 2, and they may concede, yeah, you know what? She's got 7 ears, and she's so beautiful. You're never going to convince them. Those are agreements with reality. So I learned along the way that instead of trying to convince somebody out of their belief system, working within their belief system, within their realm. I have beliefs that maybe aren't scientifically sound, but it's my belief. And when I work within that belief system, when I work within the strengths that I have, it's what's innate. The reason you think it's because it's innate.
That's right.
Whether you argue whether it's innate because of something that happened in your childhood or is it a genetic DNA thing, there's lots of science that tells you that you are the thoughts of your ancestors. So whatever it is, it's my thoughts. Whatever tools I have. And I'm going to use those. And I'm going to respect the other person enough to help them as well. And so building my own practice and writing these books are really Unapologetically You's the most recent one. There's been 3 others, and they're really just my notes. I would write notes back when pen and paper existed. I would write notes.
Oh, that's
And
dinosaur age.
I would write them during my military time when, you're most honest when you're afraid, when
Sure.
you're afraid or in trouble, right?
Yes.
And I was both during those years. And so
you're
I was
hungry.
super honest and,
Right.
and you, I don't think that, I know that before we were speaking, before camera time, and I know that both of you hold high spiritual views. And for me, you don't grow spiritual. You shrink spiritual. It's about cutting away. It's about refining. And one of the most spiritual things you can do is embrace your humanity. And so I embraced my humanity and I embraced the truth. Not I should be fearless. No, I'm feeling fear. What is this? Not I should live in a certain way, but this is the way that I think, this is the way that I feel. And those were refined into small ideas. And writing them, what people now call quotes. And so I had friends who came over my house one day and they said, oh, what's this stuff? And they picked up my notebooks that I had been writing in for years, and I was like, this is really good, man. You should print this somewhere. And eventually I did, and we cleaned them up because my grammar wasn't fantastic, and they became what people know as my books now. And I continue to do that. For
That's
as long as
amazing.
it's just not a pen and paper
And
anymore.
that's all you gotta do. Just
What
keep
a
writing
great
stuff down.
story.
It's being honest. It's being honest about life and recognizing that there's a self-help industry that's filled with nonsense. There's a spiritual book industry that's filled with nonsense. And I really, I jumped in both feet, and I know we'll go to commercial, and when we come back, I'd like to talk about that. I'd like to talk to all of you about the idea that maybe the reason some things don't seem to be fixing you is because you're not broken. Let's talk about that when we get back.
Hi everyone, I'm Corinne Caro here with Daniel M., host of Front Row on The Daily Blue. Daniel, you've been doing a great job. I love having you here at The Daily Blue. A little close right here. Tell us what you look for in a guest.
You know what? I like when people have a certain style and an opinion about fashion, fitness, grooming, anything that really is an inspiration to the viewers.
I've noticed I've never been on your show, Daniel.
Well, we're going to have to fix that.
Oh, so I do have style?
You do have style.
Winning.
Doesn't mean we can't go shopping, though.
Oh, great. See you on the Front Row every week on thedailyblu.com. Thanks so much.